Okay then, in today's video, I'm going to go over everything that you need to know about the Christmas event part 2. So with that being said, let's get straight into it. First, let's go over the old things that were changed in this update, which is all to do with the maze and the peppermint values. The peppermints that you could find in the maze that randomly spawned in has been increased from 30 to 35. The peppermints that you get for beating the maze has been increased from 25 to 40. And there is also a brand new method on how to get peppermints inside of this update. You can now get them from the Lumi crates found inside the huts inside of the maze as a common reward. And if you get them as a reward, you'll receive 5 peppermints now. So yeah, overall, this is going to make grinding for things like the Ursoul reskin quite a lot easier. You're basically guaranteed a Ursoul every maze completion. And now, let's go over the new stuff that was introduced with the part 2 updates. Starting off with a new Loomian reskin, which is Hot Chocolate Odoyaga. You can find this reskin in the wild with the base encounter odds of 1 in 2048, which is the exact same odds as the Santa Duskit. And with both the roaming game passes and boost turned on, the odds will become 1 in 256. Also, this has got an alpha and a gamma gleaming form. Next up then, let's go over Milo, which you can find him hiding behind this tree. You can buy 10 boost tokens and 10 of any corrupted shard from him in total, and if you buy out the entire stock, you'll be rewarded with a special profile background. And here's what that background looks like. Next up then, let's go over the raids, which you can access by walking up to here, right next to where you spawn in. Starting off with the returning Soul Burst Icigool, the rewards for beating the normal difficulty is the Icy Burst, which is the item required to Soul Burst Icigool as a guaranteed drop. You'll get 20 peppermints guaranteed, you'll have a 10% chance to get an Icigool frame, and you'll be guaranteed to get one of these discs. And the rewards for beating the Nightmare difficulty is the Icigool Saddle Eye as a guaranteed drop, you'll get 30 peppermints guaranteed, you'll have a 25% chance to get an Icigool frame, and you'll be guaranteed to get one of these discs, but also another one of these discs. And now let's go over the new Soul Burst raid, Celesting. The rewards for beating the normal difficulty is going to be the Celi Burst, which is the item required to Soul Burst Celesting as a guaranteed drop. You'll get 20 peppermints guaranteed, you'll have a 10% chance to get a Celesting background, and you'll be guaranteed to get one of these discs. And then the rewards for beating the Nightmare difficulty is the Celesting Saddle S as a guaranteed drop, you'll get 30 peppermints guaranteed, you'll have a 25% chance to get a Celesting background, and you'll be guaranteed to get one of these discs, but also another one of these discs. And the final thing to go over is the free boost token and Ace Disc quest. If you go inside of the building located next to Milo and enter this room, you'll find a vault that requires a code. And to get this code, you'll have to go back to the main area and join the maze minigame. Once you're inside of the maze, you'll want to look for a Twilight mask, a Kabunga mask, a Duskit mask, and an Ikizune mask. And by finding these masks on the floor randomly throughout the maze, you'll see that they each come with a different number. Which no, you can't just take the number that I get, it will be different for everyone. So the first mask that I found was the Kabunga and it had the number 15. The second mask that I found was the Twilight, which had the number 32. The third mask that I found was the Ikizune, which had the number 91. And the final mask that I found was Duskit, which had the number 55. And also, don't worry if you die in the maze or even complete it before getting all of the numbers. You can just re-enter the maze minigame as much as you want, again and again, to find the masks that you're still missing. But once we have all of the numbers, we can head back to the vault and put them all in. Which, our first reward will be a Grimuline frame. We aren't done yet, however, because we can actually continue and claim 4 total rewards from the vault. So after getting your first reward, we can do this exact same thing 3 more times by going into the maze again to find the same masks but with a different number code this time. And just a trick if you want to use it, but you only need 3 of the mask codes, and you can brute force the last number by trying them all. The second reward you'll get from the vault is a Celesting frame, then the third reward you'll get from the vault is 10 free boost tokens, and then the final reward you'll get from the vault is a green celebration disc, which is a reskin of the Ace disc, so it will never fail when used. And I almost forgot, so I'm adding this in after everything else, but with this update we also got corrupted roamer backgrounds. You can only get these backgrounds by encountering a corrupted roamer in a random wild encounter. This doesn't count for knocking out the static adventure story fights, and to my knowledge, you shouldn't be able to get them either for knocking out the soft resetables in their fight too. So with that, they are strictly locked to the random wild encounters instead. But hey, at least we now finally get something for finding corrupted roamers. And every roaming Loomian in the adventure mode has one of these backgrounds, being Duskit, Ikazune, Perdigon, Dakuda, Cosmeleon, Mutagon, Cephalops, Eliphage, Glissadia, and Aceros. Which I'm only going to show off the Duskit one because I don't want to spoil the other ones since some of them haven't been found yet, like the Cosmeleon one. But the reason why I'm bringing these up in this video is because the event roamers also have their own backgrounds. Although some of them aren't going to be available until their events come back, so currently the only ones you can find in this specific event are Wabalisk, Akalos, Celesting, Mamask, and Grimuline. But because we also just introduced an Odoyaga Reskin in this update, if you get that in the wild as a corrupted and knock it out, it will also reward you with the Odoyaga corrupted background. Although, we aren't going to do corrupted reskin version of these, that would be a little insane. And also, these will only be available while this event is ongoing. When the event ends, you'll have to wait until they return in the next event. So the only corrupted backgrounds we aren't able to currently get are Metronet, Nevermare, Gargolem, Nimue, Nemesis, and Cosmior. And there's also one more thing I might as well talk about at the end of this video that isn't directly related to the Part 2 updates. But if you go to the Llama Train Studios Twitter account, you'll find that a lot of Loomian Legacy content creators are hosting official Gamma Icigool giveaways. So if you're interested in that, make sure to go check out all of the content creators and how and when they'll be giving theirs away. And yes, that also includes myself. I'll actually be giving away a Gamma Circuit Board Icigool and a Gamma Plaid Icigool on my YouTube channel's community tab.